What is up, MSF family? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. So we're going to be talking about training mat improvement suggestions here on today. Obviously, we know training mats are a bottleneck in this game, or one of the bottlenecks, one of the many bottlenecks in this game, right? So training mats, gold, purple gear, orange gear, there's a lot of them. So hopefully we're going to be getting some improvements across the board where that's concerned here. We're still waiting on Scopely's roadmap, which we're probably going to get a little bit more of an idea of that probably sometime this week. The blog post should have at least some sort of detail, my expectation. And then next week, we should definitely get their roadmap here for that. But right now, want to talk about training materials here and how they could improve that. And I got this from a post there. The suggestions that I'm going to be going through are from a post from Thraxman that he shared with me in Discord. And it's on Reddit, and it's a really, really solid suggestion. There's quite a few of them. Now, obviously, not expecting that everything is going to be done on this list, right? Any combination of these, I think, would be very good. And I've read through them already, and there are phenomenal ideas, man, and it's some really good. So shout out to Thraxman618, on this here. I'll share the Reddit post, in the description of the video as well. But let's dive into it here, guys. So 2021 Marvel Strike Force training material proposals here. And of course, I'll read this little quick blurb. So as everyone knows, the training material shortage is no joke. Who you kidding? Our rosters are getting bigger and bigger, and certain resources have not kept up with that pace. While I understand mobile games are a bottleneck or bottleneck oriented, I feel like this one is not necessary. And I definitely tend to agree with that. That said, here are some proposals to help alleviate the scarcity. I don't think any of these would break the game. And I agree, a lot of these suggestions I don't think would break the game at all. But yeah, the first one, increase the amount of training materials in all campaign nodes threefold. Yes. I've been saying that for a while. Like some of these training materials that you're getting, the currency that you're getting for doing, these campaign farms, it's not really enticing. When you get to the later campaign nodes, you're kind of getting a little bit of an increase with some of the character node farms, right? You're getting 6 here, you're getting 2 here. But to take a character from level 1 all the way up to level 71 at least, right? The amount of training mats that you need to be able to get a character there, it's large. It's a large portion of training materials. We're getting a bunch of new teams right now in the game, like X-Men. I still haven't gotten all of my characters up yet. I'm still waiting on Kitty Pryde and Iceman to get to level 71 right now. I can't blow through all of those, through all of those training materials. So I'm going to have none. So, definitely, I think one of the ways to, sort of alleviate, some of the bottleneck when it comes to training mats would definitely be to increase, what you're getting from these nodes. If you look at the earlier nodes, you're getting 4, if it's not a character, you're getting 2 and 2. Just very, very low output for, what you're getting for these training mats, these training modules here, for these campaign nodes. So definitely, I would say that would be one that I would definitely, put on a checkbox. I approve that message. Also adding them to the ISO nodes as well. Yes. So right now we're getting ions, gold. We're definitely getting some purple gear, which, by the way, I appreciate, because especially with farming and looking to get mutant gear right now, trying to level up my X-Men team. Yeah, it's a lot. And I know that this is something that I think would be welcome too from not just players who are at my place in the game. So I'm 630, I think 635 or 37 days into the game. And I know that players who are even at 300 or so days could definitely benefit from these first 2 options here, right? ISO nodes, adding them, adding some training materials to the ISO nodes, and definitely increasing the amount that you're getting for campaigns right now would definitely be, added for me. To add to this too, I would like for them to add the L3 training modules also to those campaign nodes. Maybe adding if you're gonna go the ISO node route, then maybe adding L3 training modules to those, doubling the ones that you're getting from the campaign nodes, and then adding the L3 ones to those ISO nodes. And beginner players actually get access to those ISO campaigns pretty early, level 55. Not very difficult for them to get there. So I definitely think that would help them out, being able to get to that content earlier in the game as well. Creating a flash event. Yes. I would like this option too. Creating a flash event would be pretty cool. Now, if they bring some team that's cray, like if they bring on some team that I got to use, that's like I don't know, Ravagers, I'm gonna feel some type of way if they ever did this and then, you know, with a flash event. But I definitely think this is good too, right? We got Relic Hunt, get your Catalyst. You got Payday, you got your Gold, right? You got your, what am I forgetting? Block Party, because I almost forgot it because it only happens once every 2 months, right? For your ability materials. You got Block Party, right? Yeah, yes. Yes. Yeah, add a flash event. I think that would definitely be helpful as well. Giving a training orb as a part of the daily objective. So I don't know if I would say a full-on orb per se, like maybe one orb, because you think about it, 7 days, that's one orb every day. You get the orbs right now, they only reward, you know, gold trading materials. So maybe that might be too steep of a decision for them to make to go, you know, in that direction. So maybe fragments, right? Like maybe every 2 days you get a trading orb, you know, so maybe giving fragments, you know, for the daily objectives, I think would be ideal, you know, would be good, you know, would be any sort of increase there, I think would be good, just because the trading orbs, you're getting the gold ones. The golds have more value, or L4s, the golds have more value than the L3s, the L2s, and then of course the L1s as well. Having a trading orb weekly calendar, like a ISO calendar. So once again, it's like with the whole orb thing, this is where I'm always kind of like, you know, maybe fragments, you know, but I kind of get the idea, like having fragments built up to where you're going to be able to eventually open up, you know, a couple orbs, I think would be good. But going with the idea once again, right, that maybe training material shouldn't be a bottleneck anyways. So maybe adding an orb also would be a good direction to go. But I think fragments are good, especially if they go with, I think, these two easy fixes that are right up top here, right? Increasing them in the campaign nodes and then putting them into the ISO campaigns. I think that would probably alleviate even some of these things that probably are even suggested down here. But give orb fragments for each blitz. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like giving orb fragments, I feel like is a good compromise. You know, orb fragments for each blitz, and include an orb for end of blitz rewards too, right? So maybe tier it a little bit, you know, 2 to 3% for the 10%, maybe tier, you know, some of those. It seems like a lot of work though, with the amount of time that you have to blitz now, to then add that as a reward to blitz. I feel like, or maybe it would incentivize blitz a little bit more if they were able to give orb fragments for training materials. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm open to a lot of suggestions right now when it comes to training mats, because it's such a bottleneck right now in the game, right? Putting some training mats in for end of raid rewards and war rewards, definitely. I definitely think this is a good one too. Like I said, once again, maybe fragments per se, maybe not a full-on orb, but fragments, you know, to this. For war, probably a full orb. For raids, probably fragments, because you're doing raids every day. So if it's, like I said, you do every 2 days, you're going to be able to get a full training orb. I think that would be a good direction to go in as well. Add a training orb to the arena rewards. I could, that might be a little bit of a stretch, but once again, I'm thinking about them if this in the idea of all of these together. But if they chose to do arena rewards, I think that would actually be helpful for some of the earlier players as well. You know, maybe incentivize arena. Arena is kind of just like a slog right now. You know, there's some fun to it at times. Other times, with all the kind of just like crap that's going on, you know, with certain things in arena right now, you know, it doesn't feel as rewarding. So maybe adding some training stuff there would be helpful. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that one I'm not quite sure on yet. I'm not quite sure on that one yet. The blitz and raid store should be ideal to include a training material. So this is referring back to the blog post where Scopely, you know, talked about how, you know, they're going to be adding some training materials here to a store. I think the best two options probably are blitz and raids. Definitely don't want that in war. There's too much stuff in war right now. I don't need anything else. There's many uniques. There's character shards, important characters that are in that store. I don't want anything else added to those stores. I don't like blitz and raid stores either. Really, I don't like stores, period. In general, I don't think that they should be adding training materials to stores primarily as your main area where you can get extra training materials. I think that they should be adding it to some other areas, right? Obviously, like the campaigns and stuff that we've already talked about already. But yeah, as an option for maybe mid to late game players, sure, but the store option only I don't like, because a lot of earlier players are gonna need their blitz currency and their raid currencies to farm characters to get, you know, them to be able to unlock legendaries, you know. So I don't like the blitz and the raid store options, you know, at all, unless you are going to increase the amount of currency that we're going to be getting in those stores. If you're going to do that, then I'm kind of okay with it. But then the question is, how much are you increasing it by? Like, you got to increase it by a significant amount if you are going to be adding them to the store, because you can't just think about it from a perspective of late game, mid to late game. You got to think about it from a perspective of early to mid game, right? You know, that kind of eliminates a lot of their options, you know, when it comes to getting characters for legendaries and being able to prioritize that. And yes, training materials are definitely still an issue, I think, for early to mid game players too, because you're not getting as much, you know, as you know, some of us as a mid to late game players are, right? So definitely I would say, yeah, blitzing, these are the best options that you have available, but just I'm concerned for the earlier player base here. Beef up the existing training day challenges. Yeah, I kind of agree with that one too, because when you look at the challenges, I was actually looking at it right before I recorded this video here, and when I jumped into it, looked at the challenges. Trading day, you really don't, there's really not really that big of a boost until you kind of get past not gear tier, but until you get past tier like 7, you know, you're getting 75 greens, but those are greens. Remember, we talked about how that doesn't hold as much value as the blues, and definitely not the same as, you know, the purple and the gold ones. Tier 8, you're only getting 1 gold. You know, you're getting 5 here. Granted, yes, you're doing it 3 times, but you know, the amount that you're getting is not really that much. So beefing up these, you know, training materials, you know, on the challenges, which you do 3 times a day, right? I think would be a very nice added bonus as well. I think that's definitely needed for sure. And then including orb fragments in the milestones. I don't know what specific milestones, you know, he's referring to. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I would have to check with them on that one. Thraxman, let me know what orb fragments you're talking about specifically here. Add a training material blitz on Sundays along. I like this idea a lot. Add a training material on Sunday, training material blitz on Sundays with the other 2 orb blitzes. I like this one because premium orbs, man, I mean, you know, the amount of, there's no excitement for me opening up premium orbs. I know Cole and Yo-Yo are in there, but at a 2% drop rate with 130 plus other characters, I'm not like uber excited about it, right? I'm just not, you know. Yeah, I would say, you know, adding another blitz that's training material, I would go for that one. I don't do the Red Stars one either, because my roster's just not big enough to compete with players, you know, who are getting those high rewards. So I primarily just do premium, and I do like 3 to 4 million in Red Stars. I just do milestones for the trading, for the maybe that's what he meant, like fragments from milestones. Maybe he meant blitz milestones there, but or maybe no, he might have meant, you know what I'm thinking that he meant by orb fragments and milestones? He might have meant these, right? Like over here. That's I completely didn't realize that. Thraxman, I got you. Sorry. So he meant these milestones. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense now. Sorry guys, doing this on the fly. Apologies. But yeah, that I get that portion of it. And add training material. Yeah, I definitely like that blitz idea for sure. I definitely like that blitz idea. And this one is a nice little added one too. Increase campaign energy refreshes, you know, from 80 to 100. You know, so I'll be honest, man. There's a few of them that I really liked. Increase the amount of training materials in the campaign nodes. You know, add them to the ISO nodes. A flash event, I definitely like that one. And these 2 down here, man, I think are really, really good. Those 5 right there might be too much, right? But these 5 right here, I think would be very good for the community and the player base. But what are y'all thinking? What options, what ideas do you guys have here when it comes to training materials, you know, sort of improvement here? I like this post by Thraxman. Thank you very much for that. Some of these I'm like, yeah, maybe not, maybe fragments, whatever. But I think the biggest ones for me that really stood out were definitely the campaign nodes, the ISOs, the ISO campaign. Increasing the energy refreshes from 80 to 100, I think is a very good option too. So I do also like that one. But listen, let me know what your guys' thoughts are when it comes to this. Obviously, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you know when my videos do go live. Check out the other links down below, Discord, as well as Twitch. I stream weekly there also, guys. Appreciate you guys much. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.